Are you guys, do you guys want me to show you my new workflow that I've been testing out? Do you want to see my new workflow? All right, nice to see it. So, all right, so let me just kind of give you first an example of it all. So I've been trying to do a little bit more LLM programming. I've been trying honestly for a long time. And what I've come up with is what I call this six phase work. And so how six phase works is that I ask it to go and just create the structure definition. So you can see right here that it just does definitions. And then when it does the definitions, I go through here, I look at the definitions, and I give it a bunch of corrections to what I think aren't correct. I can do this from my phone. There's technically 7 phases because phase 0 is do research and come up with a plan for how you're going to do phases 1 through 6. And so I can execute this from my phone or from my computer, and it's very fantastic. And I say, hey, go do that. And then finally, when I get to a place that I'm very, very happy with, then I go to phase 2. Phase 2 does all the projectile API stubs. And so it's just like, okay, here's what I want you to build. So I was just like, hey, don't do that. Don't do this. Hey, don't do this one. We do not need an add. Just inline it into update. No, don't do that. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. Hey, go solve it, cursor. Go and figure out those things. So I'm kind of like slowly designing the thing one step at a time, the way I would like to program it, right? iPhone, yeah, you have to. Cursors, what's it called? App is only on iOS. It's like their preview app's only on iOS. And then phase 3, I tell it to do a bunch of to-dos for myself. And so the bunch of to-dos, effectively what it is, I say, hey, add all the to-dos for exactly how you want, where you're going to be programming at. I want to see all the to-dos. And so I'm like, hey, you need to do a couple more to-dos right here. Hey, you want something right here. Hey, remove that. Do all that. So it actually adds each of the to-dos along the way so that I know it knows what it's doing. I notice I missed this right here. I don't want this. This needs to be removed. I just realized that sucks. So I gotta go fix that. But that's kind of like the idea, is that I can kind of walk it one step at a time. Hey, Ginger Bill. And so that was my attempt. I see Odin. What a coincidence. Yeah. I'm talking about my new LLM strategy for attempting to use it for programming. So, because for the last 2 weeks, I've been traveling. So I haven't been able to just sit down at a computer and program. So I had to come up with a way that I could program while traveling. And so what I did is I make it go slowly through the process of building something. First, define all the data structures. Second, define all the interfaces that we need. Third, design all the to-dos for what code needs to change. I want to change this part just looking at it. I missed this because I was on my phone. Phase 4, which I thought was pretty smart. What phase 4 does is I say, okay, given all the to-dos we've created and all the data structures we've created, I want you to implement it. And then when you implement it, I want you to play, I have this like JSON mode, play the game in JSON mode. And then after playing the game in JSON mode, and making sure everything works, I want you to tell me where you actually couldn't program it. You had to go outside of all the to-dos. And so, or effectively where you had to kind of leave the path, right? And so it seems like everything looked pretty good, except for one part. I think it's missing something right here. There's one part that's missing. Let's see, where is it? Oh, anyways, so you can kind of see what I'm doing is I'm just taking it one step at a time and attempting to actually program, like actually do a real programming while on the go. I usually just say, make me a game and make sure it's pretty good. Traveling engineer workflow. Yeah, I'm actually like, all of that makes sense. Yeah, I'm actually like using the thing to actually make good changes. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so here's one change here. We'll just look at a full PR because I still got to do some work on this one that I don't like. I don't like what this thing has produced. So I'm going to do, there's a bunch of these. I tried to create an MCP server. I tried to actually just slop an MPC server in there. Don't do that. It's absolutely awful. There we go. So here's one that I just recently did, which don't worry about this. This is just me like, hey, okay, what I wanted to really do here was I wanted to make, where are you? Where's the max? Yes. Where are you? There you go. This is the fundamental change I wanted to make, which is instead of having a dynamic array, we will never have more than this many enemies, and I never want to remove an enemy. The reason being you never want to remove an enemy is during a singular level, when an enemy dies, you need to be able to play an animation. So if you remove the enemy from the array, you can't continue to update it. So you actually want the ability to update and do things and all that. So I made a static array that's just like, this is how big the array is. That's it. Don't do anything. And we're just going to we only add enemies. And we'll have a dead and what time it died at. And so that means we can have a max enemies of this. Maybe I'll increase how many enemies, all that kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really matter. It just matters that it worked that way. And then every time we start a new wave, we can clear out the previous enemies, clear out the previous projectiles, all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense, right? And so like that's what I found that this is actually This has been a pretty great way to go about doing a lot of these changes because the enemies and towers, I now, instead of doing, instead of having the length of the enemies on a dynamic array, instead I do the enemy count. I go in here, and if the enemy is finished, then we continue, else we're going to draw the enemy, right? The exact same thing. We're going to draw the tower. We're going to do all that. So it was actually pretty nice. Like, it actually worked out. What is this game, by the way? Well, the game's pretty neat. The game is kind of coming along. I don't know if it's running locally. Did you like that animation? I hand-rolled that animation, by the way. Did you like that animation? Look at the little bat. Look at the little bat. This still sucks. I have a lot of polish to do. I decided not to do any sort of polish on it just to kind of get it going, right? All the stuff I want to change. There would be level 1. There you go. You can grab that. You can then put this somewhere out here. Look at that. Look at that. It's kind of working, right? Boop. Now we have that one. I can end turn, which end turn just randomly spawns bat right now. Bats should be higher. Towers don't fire. I can't click towers. But I've gotten it pretty far, right? Like, we're getting back into making a game right now, huh? There's no speed up. It just spawns 10 bats. None of the stuff that's actually really needed. So there we go. So I've gotten actually pretty far. Adam really is the Pixel King. Yeah. We're back at the tower. Loving the artwork. Yeah, Adam C. Eunice built it. And so I didn't use any AI, but by the way, look at this. None of the bats are facing the right direction, right? We have a lot of polish to do. And I just want to get the core mechanics back in and working. The thing is we used Adam C. Eunice to do all the work because he's actually really good pixel artist. And I think this is where LLMs don't produce great code, but they produce even worse assets, in my personal opinion. But I made this animation system. I hand-rolled my own animation system, which I feel pretty proud about, right? I actually feel really proud at the fact that I made my own animation system, right? I love that. I love that I was able to do that. I feel very good about it. It's handcrafted, artisanal, all that kind of stuff. They are shit with anything animated. Yeah, they're just not good. And anyway, so there is my, what's it called? That is my workflow. But so I kind of got tired of doing this because it's like, it's great that I can be traveling. I went to a place without service, so I only got spotty service every now and then. So I could craft my message, send it off, come back in an hour, and boom, I had a little update to my PR, and I could slowly move things through without turning my project into horseshit. Can we all agree that if you just simply say, AI, go do the thing, it turns it into horseshit? Are you making it run implementation tests? So that's kind of the interesting part. Here, I'll show you this. I'll show you this thing I kind of created here. I don't have a lot of tests. I have some basic like layout tests and animation tests, but I don't have a lot of tests. And the reason why is that I have this instead, which is it's such a goofy way to do things, but I wasn't sure if it was any good. Is I have this right here. It's a series of functions that you can call, and I can do this. I can go like this: Odin run dot dash 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 JSON, and this will run a game. And now it's in JSON mode. It's actually running the full game. It's just instead of rendering to raylib, it's just doing JSON. And so I can actually do things. I can pass in JSON, and it will go and it will actually process that JSON and do stuff with the game. So what I can do is I can do something like this. Let's just whip this thing out. Cursor dot. There we go. Let's see. Let's just jump into this thing right. Where's my composer? Do 5 fast. Let's see. Play the game in JSON mode and place one. Let's see. And place one tower for me. Record every JSON output. JSON output to a file so we can replay it. Make the file out.json. There we go. And so it's going to go. It's actually going to go and figure out how to play the game in JSON mode. It will then launch it, and then it has a bunch of ways to move cards around. It actually sends in events, and it actually can move cards around and everything. So whenever I do a test, whenever I change anything, it just runs. It's not MCP because I wanted something a little bit more robust than MCP. I want it to be able to just emit events as well and stuff like that. That's just like a little bit different than MCP. But it goes and it runs things, and it can do a bunch of different mouse operations. It can do all of that. And so it can actually go through and step it all and do all that. Let's see if is it actually doing that. Tail F out. Am I getting anything here? I'm curious if is it actually gonna put anything in there? Come on, cursor, go faster. Come on, composer. Okay, then I'll show you my actual new kind of way I'm doing things. So this was one of my ideas, is that, so the reason you're probably asking me, why am I building a game like this? By having a JSON mode in which you can fully put through every single mouse operation and everything, what I have done, let's see, hold on, read through the, let's see, scripts, let's see, for how to control and launch the game. I should probably put that in like some sort of agent MD or whatever. Anyways, the reason why I built it this way is what I wanted to do is I want to be able to create a real agent loop and say, okay, you're going to play as the blacksmith. I want you to play 1,000 games, and I'm going to inspect your win percentages when I'm done. I want you to come up with a strategy. I want you to talk about, I want you to figure out all the things. I want you to do all of the stuff that actually, you're going to write down a file of skills and how you think your best strategies are. And I'm going to let you go as far as you can. And I'm going to see what cards you win the most with, which cards you win the least with, and I'm going to see how far I can kind of take it, right? Yeah, kind of like playwright CLI kind of thing for game dev, effectively is what I've made it. And so, whoopsies, I'm sitting on something that's like kind of pokey. Oh, I was doing yard work yesterday. I kept something in my pocket from yard work. Anyways, so there we go. So it did do a bunch of this. It did do all that. It did a render request, got all that stuff. Click agent mode, it did all this. So it can just drive the UI. Yes, do it now. That's what you're supposed to do. Do the thing. Right. And so I spent a lot of time on this because every time I make a cloud action to change something about the game, I want to go through the 6-phase planning that I've been doing. And then on top of it, I want to go and make sure it can run the game and play the game and do something that's like meaningful, not a bunch of I just don't want horse crap in my game. Because dude, agents left alone just produce horse crap. They produce absolutely awful. You know what I mean? I really hate all this LLM terminology such as agent and loops. Agent is just something that runs really in a loop. And a loop, does Prime still trad code at all the time? Yes, it's just that when I'm traveling, I can't. And so I had to come up with a way to be able to program while traveling. Like if I don't have access to a keyboard, I still want to produce the code I would produce. And there's sometimes, the hard part is I'm still kind of bad at reviewing. And so sometimes I let code slip kind of the way I don't want it to. Like sometimes I actually let a little bit of logic happen in the UI layer that I'd rather have in the game layer. And just because sometimes I'm just not that, I'm not really great at reviewing code. I've never been that great at reviewing code. And so that's definitely a weakness that I'm finding that I accidentally let slip here and there. So I have to go through and do a bunch of editing and make sure things work. Anyways, so it's kind of fun. All right, so let's go like this. So I'll show you my kind of new way I've been doing things, okay? So I wanted to try out, could I bring my kind of 6-phase planning into something that's a little bit more interesting. And so that's where I came up with the idea of 55. So what 55 does is that I have a list of projects that I can have. This one's called the damage because I wanted to make it so that when an enemy gets to the end of the map, it just does 1 damage to me, right? Like get something, just get anything inside the game. So it starts off and I have this I immediately start off with hey, you're going to go through 7 phases of planning. Say acknowledge when you're ready to do this. And then it does that. And then I tell it, okay, this is what we're going to do. And it's going to go through that. And I can see all the phases that it's going through. And as it builds it, I can see what it's doing. And when I jump to a project, so when I did that, let's go back home. Right now, if I go like this, present working directory, you'll notice that I'm in right here, Primogen personal UN2. When I go into here and I do present working directory, you'll notice that I'm actually in a work tree. So it's a specific work tree that can have pending changes. If I go into here, you'll notice that I have some pending changes right here. If I want to look through my pending changes, I have something called here. I'll just go like this, require 55. I have something called inspect. Now, what inspect will do is it will take every git hunk and it will put it into the quick fix list. So I'll go like this, inspect. And so here's all my different quick fix. It made some changes to the phases because I told it to do that. And so right here, you can say hey, okay, I've added this player. I've done this thing right here. I've done a player create right here. Here's the damage to the player when the enemy gets to the path. We're still this branch still has ordered removals, which I'll have to get rid of. You can see it kind of is doing each one of those things. So I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of this order removal. So I'll go like this. Please pull from master and resolve conflicts. Enemies no longer are removed, but marked dead if they die from damage, or completed if they make it to the end. Path percent is 100%. There we go. Now it's going to go and it's going to do all that stuff. And you can see that it's working. So I know that I don't have to do anything because the thing is working right there. So if I go back to here, if I go back to home, you can see that this thing is running. So I can know that it's actually off doing something and I don't have to go and edit it. And so the whole idea is that I can go in here and I can make all the edits that I want, with my old hand and go, okay, I don't like any of these things. Let's try that new API that I just added, require 55. So I don't know if I'm going to release this thing publicly yet. Toggle diff lines. I'm just curious if this works. Toggle diff lines. Nice. Yes. Okay. So this is what it just added. It added this. Okay, interesting. It must have just got moved down. And so, okay, cool. Yep, player health. Yep, player was added right there. Okay, awesome. Up here we go. We're already in one of these little, we're in the process of updating. So do you see what I've kind of done here? I thought it was pretty clever, this idea of like, all right, so I can go and tell it to make something. And then when it makes something, I can go and I can just edit the code. And I can walk through the 6-phase planning without, I can walk through 6-phase planning locally. And so the obvious next step I'm going to be doing is that I also want to be able to do it on cloud. So when I'm actually working, I can say, or if I have to go leave and I'm not going to, could use work trees, that's what I'm using. I'm using work trees. If I'm working and I'm like partway through a commit and then I have to go leave, say for the day or for whatever, I can just go to my computer and I'm going to send it up to the cloud. And then I'll have it on my phone and I can finish off the change on my phone. And so that's kind of the idea, is that I still want to be the one in control of the code. I still want to be the person that's actually doing the coding and the reviewing and everything I don't like. Instead, like one thing I really hate doing, like you can see that I had to do it here because I was doing this from my phone, the one that I was just showing right wherever that was. This, like these, I would just rather put them in myself. As I'm looking through the code, being like, no, I don't like that. No, I want to do this. No, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm just going to make the changes myself because I can just do it much, much faster. I hate going through and like describing in English an API change I want. It's very, very, very annoying, right? Like, I just hate that. And sometimes, like, I just recently had to make a change. I was on the run, so I couldn't do it. But I made a change where, let's see, descend. There we go. Where I wanted to make sure that it actually returns out the element for mouse checking, as opposed to doing the mouse interaction here. Because before it used to do the mouse interaction here, which led to a bunch of problems. Instead, I wanted to just find the most high Z ordered interactive element. And it's just for a very, very complex bug. I tried to get the agents to do this like 7 times while traveling. I could not get it to write normal code. No matter how many times I was like, bro, just return the effing element, do the check here. It's simple. Just do the damn thing. And it's just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I busted out the code in like literally 15 minutes. It was so simple. And then I was just like, dude, I hate it. I hate describing some problems. Some problems are just horrible to describe in English. Some problems are just the worst in the universe to describe in English. And so you just have to say no. Yeah, so this is me trying to reason about how to do, better programming myself, right? Can I become a good programmer while using an LLM? Because here's the deal. You guys expect me to have answers about AI, and I wanted to make sure I am deeply thoughtful of exactly how I do it. Now, I never finished off step 4, which step 4, by the way, is my favorite. Is my favorite step. All right, good. There we go. We're done now. It's done with this. So now we can go in here. So it has it all the way down here. So phase 4, I'm actually pretty excited about. I need to make this look a little bit nicer. I was thinking about doing something that was a little bit prettier than this. But I think I have a pretty good idea here, which is, what if... Oh, I don't know if I actually did it because I just realized that I was in the middle of... I'm curious if I actually did it. Did I? No. Okay, nice. Just because I quit in the middle while it was still running, like I quit Vim, so maybe the agent died. But I have this phase 4. What I do for phase 4, which I thought was really clever, is phase 3. So by the time I get to phase 3, I have to-dos in every single spot that I want code to change. I have all the structures. I have all the interfaces set. So phase 4, what I do is I have it implement the change, run the JSON mode, make sure it can play through a game, and then undo all the changes and say, this is where I had to break the to-dos. Like I had to break from the to-do. I had to do all this. So it actually gives me a step-by-step, like, hey, I had to make an edit over here because I couldn't figure out this part. We should address this. Hey, I couldn't make an edit over here. Can you figure out this part? So I try to make it do something that's like a little bit smarter. Anyways, there you go. And then 5 is add invariants, and then 6 is actually implement the thing. 7 is profit. No, 7 is finishing a game is my goal. So the essence is that you get it to not do more than you asked for. Sort of. It's more like the essence is I'm the one that still determines exactly when code is ready to go to the next step. If the data structure does not look correct, then we do not go forward. If the interface does not look correct, do not go forward. If the to-dos do not look correct, do not go forward. Can we implement Can we implement what I've asked for with the to-dos, data structures, and new interfaces without having to go anywhere else? If not, break it again. Right? And so that's what it is. When you're releasing 69, currently at 55, I guess. Well, it's named 55 because of a battle rifle Halo. So the battle rifle is the BR55. See, the last time I did a library that was AI in Vim, it was actually sniper rifle Halo. Whoopsies. And that is called the SRS 99. So 99 was my first AI library. 55 is my second one because it's a little bit more spray, but it's still an accuracy weapon over a spray and pray weapon, right? So it's like it's a little bit different. You see what I did there? Because it's not an AR. I'm not just like spraying crap all over my code base. It's meant to be Precise. The Needler when? Oh, that's a good question. The Needler, that could be the answer soon. Spiker. I like guns too. This ain't no Needler, exactly. Hey, is the Odin game public repo? The Lua version is. So if you go to Mordoria and you go to here, I think it's called V2. There you go. This one is much further along. It's actually pretty dang far along. It has a custom UI system, but the UI system in this one is retained mode. In the new UI, in the new Odin one I've made, it's actually not retained mode. It's immediate mode. The animations are in immediate mode as well. Everything is all immediate mode. It's pretty fun. I build it every single thing. A fun fact: if we go to main.odin and I go to my JSON loop, where's my JSON? There it is. If I go here and I'm gonna go like this, count equals 0, and I can go count plus equals 1. If count, let's see, modulo 100 equals 0, then I'm just gonna go like this. Format. Yep, there we go. Get that guy in there. Boom. You can't use ln. It always tries to use ln. It loves the idea of using ln, even though ln does not work. And then I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go odin run dot JSON. Am I not printing? Are we not printing? Sir, where's my printings at? Okay. What the heck is going on here? What the heck is going on here? Bro, what are you doing? It should be nicely printing. Why are you not printing? What the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on here? Hold on. Guys, I'm an idiot. I'm in a different work tree. I'm in a different work tree. It took me a second, okay? It took me a second. I was like, wait a second. What the hell is this? Actually, no, let's go count plus equals 1 if count if modulo 100. No, stop with it, dude. Why does it love why do you love ln? Why can it not do what I need it to do? Oh my gosh, it can't autocomplete there. Do I have any cores? I don't. Import core format. There we go. The nice part is look at how fast we do loops. So loops go super ultra duper duper fast. Isn't that nice? So I can play it plays at like 40,000 frames a second or some nonsense. Some just absurd number. That is fantastic. So when I'm actually doing testing, I can test super fast. Anyways, there we go. So there you go. At least this. Will it ever go public? That's the goal. The goal is to release the game as an actual game, right? That's why I'm doing it. Yeah. Are we vibe coding or what? No, we're not vibe coding. So there you go. I just wanted to show you guys my my process. For those that don't know my 6-step process, it's pretty straight. I'll just say it all right here. 1 are structs, right? So we need to know what is the data structures we're building. 2 is interfaces. What are the functions we need to create or change? 3 is to-dos. Where in the code base we need the change. 4 is mock implementation. Well, not actually mock implementation. Impl, then revert. I think this one's actually this one's the best right here. And then explain to me where you had the break from the to-dos, the interfaces, or the structs to get around stuff to be able to implement it, right? Number 5 is invariance. Add any invariance, which, by the way, I cannot figure out how to get this thing to do invariance right. Holy cow. LLMs are horrible at this step. And then 6 is impl. And so that's how I do any sort of feature as of right now whenever I have to use an AI. Wasn't it at 0.8? No, 0.8 ms is, what's it called? 0.8 ms is hard-coded. It doesn't actually sleep. See, it doesn't actually do a loop. It just does test loop DT. I just want the game to update at a consistent amount of time being passed. It's not, no actual time is being passed. The feedback loop of number 4 sounds really fucking great. It's fantastic. It's shocking. Like doing number 4 has been the greatest change in how I design my programs yet. Because even if I don't use an AI, just doing that, just doing this right here, and even if I hand code it and see what happens, it goes, okay, here's all the places I had to break it. It's like a great way to get information back, right? What tab autocomplete are you rocking? Not 99, Super Maven. I still have a, what's it called? I still have a sub here, so I get it. It's so good. 250 millisecond latency. Honestly, Super Maven, if I was just locked in programming, it's better than, I think I can go faster and better than any LLM when programming my program, right? If I don't care about a lot of that, then yeah, it's different. And then the last thing I really wanted to do, and I don't think this works at all, is that I want to be able to, oh, look at this, cloud is up. So I can technically cloud things up. I want to be able to fetch like clouds and do stuff that's interesting, which I don't have. Let's see. So CG will go to cloud. So right now I'm in the middle of this prompt right here, which you guys have seen. So if I go Control G, 55 requires a cloud handoff prompt. Oh, so I can go say yes when you are ready. I wonder if it doesn't. Okay, interesting. I was curious what's going to happen here. Okay, yeah, I haven't tested any of it out yet. but I have this idea that I want to be able to take what I'm currently working on and say, go to the cloud. And if it can go to the cloud, then I want to be able to just see it right here and see it on my phone. Boop, that'd be super cool. So this is just me testing something out to see if it's even possible. I don't know how possible it is, but that'd be sweet. So that way, if I'm like, okay, I'm 95% done, hey, go to the cloud, I'll figure out where to go. Anyway, so there you go. That's my current attempt. I don't know if it's good or if it's bad or if I actually have no idea. Honestly, the reason why I'm not releasing 55 like I did release 99 is that 99 was me experimenting in public, but I don't know if 55 is the right choice, so I don't want to release it again, right? Because I don't know if 99 is the right choice, so I want to first really like it.